Hello and welcome to Daily Reflection with Aneel Aranha. Today is the 27th of March 2019. We're going to reflect on Matthew chapter 5, 17 to 19. Listen. Jesus said, "Do not think that I've come to abolish the law or the prophets. I've come not to abolish, but to fulfill. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not one letter, not one stroke of a letter will pass from the law until it is accomplished. Therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven, but whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven." The gospel of the Lord. The law, as you know, was the 10 commandments given to Moses on Mount Sinai. Many of us believe that these were restrictive, that it hampered our freedom. But on the contrary, the law was given to ensure our freedom. Remember, we were created in God's image and likeness to live in harmony with God and with man and in total freedom. It is sin that disrupts this harmony and takes away our freedom. And the law was given as a gift to show us how we could avoid this. And when we keep the commandments, we would be blessed, and that's what God said. Soon after he gave the Israelites the 10 commandments, he said that if the people obeyed them, he would bless the land they were going to take possession of. But if they disobeyed, they would not live long in that land. The Israelites disobeyed, and as they had been warned, many perished, and others found themselves scattered around the world in what became known as the exile. It wasn't punishment, it was a consequence of their choices. However, the exile made them see the light, and years later, when they returned to Jerusalem, they decided never to make the mistakes of the past and to obey God's commandments faithfully. This would not have been a bad thing, except in the process, they forgot the really important thing. The purpose of the commandments was to ensure harmony between God and fellow man. However, it all became about following a set of rules and regulations, and legalism took precedence over love. Now, there were legal requirements, and this is what Jesus came to fulfill. He obeyed the law to the letter, which the Israelites could never do because they were relying on human effort. And he emphasized the purpose of the law by narrowing it to 2 commandments, a love of God and a love of neighbor. All the other commandments would automatically follow from these 2. And to further ensure this happened, he put his own spirit into us, which would give us the natural desire to live in the manner God wanted us to live. And that's pretty much like Christ lived. As Christians, we're all required to be like him. It is part of the definition. Now, Christ is pure, he's holy, and he's perfect, which means we need to be pure, holy, and perfect. Now, is that even possible, you might ask? Of course it is, because God himself tells us to be pure, holy, and perfect. In 1 John 3:3, he tells us to be pure as he is pure. In 1 Peter 1:16, he tells us to be holy as he is holy. And in Matthew 5:48, he tells us to be perfect as he is perfect. And God wouldn't ask us to do anything that we couldn't do. Now, this won't happen overnight, but we will get there if we just try to love God and fellow man a little more with each passing day. God bless you.